This is gonna sound crazy, but when Jaxson was 2, I bought him a little tight basketball goal and I put it together. I had a little orange ball that came with it, and he picked it up and shot it with perfect form the first time. I mean, like absolutely perfect form. So I gave it back to him and he shot it again. And I picked up the phone and called my dad and said, you have to come over here and see this. And since then, he's just always loved basketball.
It's a big basketball family. I come from a lot of hoopers.
He played on his first team when he was 4. And the coach after the season was like, you guys need to put him on a real team because he knows what he's doing. He could dribble, he could shoot a layup. So from a very early age, he loved it, and he obviously had some natural talent for it.
My grandma, she was a Hall of Famer. My aunt, she went to Southeastern. She was also a Hall of Famer. My mom went there after transferring from Missouri State. She became a Hall of Famer also.
I think it was great for him as a basketball player. He had lots of people he could look to for advice, and even though he might not see it as help, we often give him critical feedback that he might not love to hear, but we give it to him anyway because we know it's best for him.
And so it's been really neat to see, right, that confidence that Jax has in his game and how that has grown, right, over the years and where we're able to see him, but also that he understands the game at a really high level because he's been taught really, really well from a couple of strong women in his life.
Just the motivation of my family and friends and everything, it just kept me going, and now I'm here today.
Freshman year was tough. He graduated high school a year early, so he went to Texas A&M as a 17-year-old.
COVID had just hit. We couldn't get on campus, so I didn't have a summer with my fellow teammates and my coaches.
It's tough to leave your kid somewhere and hope they do all right. I mean, I knew he'd be all right, but, you know, I don't like him struggling, things like that. So it was tough down there at Texas to see him in that situation.
You know, it was just difficult kind of adjusting to college from high school so fast. It was a fast transition. During the season, some of us kept getting COVID, things like that. And it was just rough. We finished last in the SEC, so.
I think that team just really struggled to find themselves and to create any kind of bonds just based on the fact that they were spending no time together other than when they were practicing. I think the stress was hard for the players, the stress was hard on the coaching staff, and ultimately it just led to Jaxson just not finding a great fit.
Just kind of going through that struggle, though, I think it kind of made me who I am. Just going through those ups and downs, it taught me a lot of lessons.
And then after his first year transfer to Arkansas, really good program, didn't really have the opportunity that he was seeking. And then year 3.
We went to dinner with Coach Pope, most of the coaching staff, and Trevin and Trey. And Trevin told the coaches, you guys leave. They want to just let them ask us questions without you here listening so we can be totally honest and they don't feel like they can't ask. And so the coaches left for like 45 minutes and left us with those 2. And we had a very open and honest dialogue with them, and they told us all about what the team's goals are, kind of how they interact with one another, how the coaches are. And they said they're exactly who they are all the time. This is exactly how they are. And that was just a really good feeling because Jaxson was looking for a place to go where he felt valued as a player and also as a person, and what place he could build relationships with the coaches that had been something he'd been lacking.
I think he's found a home here where we certainly love having him here, and I think he fits in here perfectly.
We take a lot of pride in helping, right, Jax and all of our guys, right, grow in every aspect of their life. We believe that he can grow as a basketball player in a lot of ways. We also believe that he can grow off the court through his academic experience, through his NIL experience, and through every other experience that he has here in the state of Utah at BYU, so that he can go forth and serve and be the best human being he can be when he finishes time here at BYU.
Jaxson's someone who is very unselfish. He has such a kind heart. And he's also very determined. So when you have someone who has such a big focus on giving back to people and doing the right thing in situations, and then you see someone who's so focused, it's someone who wants to make a difference. So he sees something that could be unjust or someone struggling in a situation, and he really does everything he can to try to make that situation better for them. And I think it's been really neat to watch him from a very early age think about things that I don't think most kids think about, and then try to do what he can to help in those situations.
I feel like a lot of people have sacrificed for me to be where I'm at, so the support that I got, I can give it back to whoever. I just want to be able to return the favor at some point.